Welcome back everyone, this is Trip, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to attach a battery tender to a scooter, specifically my Piaggio BV-350. If you've owned a motorcycle or a scooter for any amount of time, you know the health of your battery is incredibly important. And the best way to ensure good battery health is to make sure that your battery stays fully charged at all times. Now, one way to do that is to start your vehicle every day and let it run for a while. However, as most of you know, that's pretty inconvenient, particularly for those of us who don't have access to our motorcycle or scooter every day, or even if we do, don't have the opportunity to ride it on a regular basis. And one of the best ways to keep your scooter or motorcycle battery fully charged is by hooking it up to and leaving it hooked up to a battery tender when you're not using it. This is a small one, 800 milliamps. You can get them up to 1.25. Now I know there's several different brands of these. I happen to have a Deltran here. These cost $25 to $30 on eBay or Amazon, at Walmart, etc. Now a battery tender will come with three components. The first part is the wall jack. Plug that part into the wall. It's got indicator lights on it. This one right here charges at 800 milliamps. These are all basically trickle chargers, no matter what size they are. It's got about 12 to 15 feet of cord, and it's got a jack on it. Component 2 is basically a battery lead attachment with clamps on it, positive, negative, and there's a fuse, 7.5 amp fuse there. Now you might want to use these if you take a battery out of a vehicle. And the third component is a set of quick disconnect ring terminals. And that's basically just a fancy name for the part of the battery tender that gets hardwired to the bike so that you can plug it into the wall jack and keep it charged 24/7. So let's get started installing this to the BV-350. The battery on the BV-350 is underneath the seat. So we want to hit the seat release button, lift up the seat, and find the battery compartment. Next, we want to get inside the battery compartment, and to do that, we need to push on this tab, lift up, and take off this cover. Now underneath, we've got a tool kit, and this little handy tool kit has all the tools we need to do the job today. We need to take out 3 screws to access the battery. This remaining plastic part is actually called the battery cover, and these are Torx screws, and they are T25 in size. Once inside the toolkit, you'll find a screwdriver handle, and then you'll find a back-to-back Torx wrench. One is a T27, which is this one, the larger one. The one we want is the smaller one, the T25. Put those down there for safekeeping. Now that we've got the 3 Torx screws out, we're going to lift up the battery cover. Now you'll notice on the 2 battery leads, both positive and negative, the way to take them off is with a large Phillips screwdriver, and that also comes in the toolkit. Now for a little bit of safety here, you always want to take the negative terminal off first, and you always want to put it back on last. For those of you that are football fans, think of the NFL, National Football League. Negative, first, and last. And as another precaution before we get started, we want to make sure that the ignition is turned off, but just to be safe, I'm going to take out the key and set it aside until we're finished. So we'll start with the negative. Now on to the positive. And now for the ring terminals. On one end, we've got the jack that connects it in with the wall unit, and on the other end, we've got the 2 ring terminals, one that goes to the positive terminal of the battery, which is usually red, and then the black one, which is the negative, which will go to the negative terminal of the battery. Now once we've got those 2 attached, you'll notice on the battery cover there's a hole here. Very convenient, and we will simply thread the jack out of that hole and leave it dangling here. We can then put it over the edge of the engine well and connect it to the battery tender. So now remember, negative first and last, which means we will put the positive back on first. And we want to tighten this down but not get it really tight. We just want to get it a little snug. Negative last. Now we'll take the jack and thread it through the hole in the battery cover. All right, that's where we want it. Let's go back over and snug down that negative side. Now be careful when you put the battery cover back on. You'll notice that there is a raised area up here. Now you want that fuse compartment that I showed you to sort of go back and fit under this raised ridge. And to do that, you're going to have to fiddle around with how you put the connectors on. And if you'll notice, I actually had to take and adjust the positive to go back and the negative to go back so that this top will actually fit down, and that fuse case right there will actually fit up into this raised area here. So once you've got that lead and the fuse holder up tucked under this compartment, snug it down, put in one of the torque screws, and you'll notice I changed back from the Phillips head screwdriver. And just be careful when you do this. You don't want to break this plastic top when you're snugging things down. And once we've got the battery cover back in place and the torque screws tightened, we put back in the toolkit. Now you want to take the lid here, and it's a little bit trickier to get on now that you've got this cable coming out of here. But we take the two teeth on the end, make sure they get in the holes. That serves as a hinge, and then firmly snap this into place. It's a little tougher now that the cable's coming out. Final step is to take this jack here, mate it up to the end jack of the battery tender, put those together like so, then push them in tight, make sure they're nice and snug. Drape this over the side of the scooter, shut the seat, and it won't hurt it at all, it's fine. And then plug the actual battery tender into the wall jack. And you'll notice at first the light was green when we put it in. Now it's changed to red. When this light is red, it means that everything's operating normally and your battery is charging. When this light starts to flash green, it means that your battery is 80% charged. And when it is solid green, it means that your battery is fully charged. And again, you can leave this plugged in and hooked up to your battery 24/7. It won't hurt a thing. And your battery can stay nice and healthy and live a lot longer life. And that's really all it takes. 10 to 15 minutes a time, the basic toolkit that comes with your BV-350, and $25 to $30 for the battery tender. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, please hit the like button down below. And until next time, this is Trip on Two Wheels, asking you to ride safe and ride often.